Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures are nicely above fair value, being led higher by the Russell 2000. The Fed meeting has come and gone, and on the morning after, it looks pretty bullish. We do have some economic numbers coming out at 8:30 this morning, initial jobless claims, and the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index. If either of those numbers are off by a lot this morning, they could certainly help change the direction of the market. Now, we always expect volatility to expand after 2 p.m. on a Fed day, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. The initial reaction was to shoot sharply higher. Then, half an hour later, we went sharply lower. At the end of the day, there really wasn't a lot of change. There was a lot of volatility, but not a lot of change. Now, of course, there's a big difference between price volatility and the VIX or the volatility index. Those are two completely separate things. And you can see here the US dollar index hit a new low. So I was watching Bloomberg and they were all depressed because the US dollar index was making a new low. But by the end of the day, it actually closed slightly higher. We had a new high for the 30-year bond, new low for the 30-year bond yield. In both cases, we reversed going into the close of the day. And then we've got the price of gold down slightly on the day. No change there. No change in trend for crude oil. Had an inside day on Wednesday. And then looking at Bitcoin, we had a small pullback, did not close below the previous day's low. So really nothing going on there. Now, what worked yesterday? Well, the big winner was regional banks, followed by the major U.S. banks, and then the financial ETF. Those were the big winners on the day. It was the price of copper was the big loser on Wednesday, down nearly 2% on the day. Still on a buy signal here. A close below yesterday's low would give us a new sell signal on Thursday. Looking at the VIX, now remember on Tuesday, the VIX generated a buy signal. On Wednesday, it pulled back into the channel. Now, we're not doing anything based on any buy signal we get on this chart. We're still looking for a breakout above the top of the flypaper channel before we get overly concerned. And we're watching the major VIX ETFs to see when the pros take control. And there's no sign of them doing that coming into Thursday's trading action. Looking at the major index ETFs, we'll start off in Toronto, and you can see we were down four or up 4 cents on the day yesterday. For the iShares for the TSX 60, for the Vanguard Canada ETF, we were up 2 cents on the day. And then Canada, everything outside of Canada was actually down just a penny on the day. So no major changes there. Energy stocks had a small pullback. We're stuck here at 1875 at the moment. And then looking at Canadian financials, they were up slightly on the day. Canadian banks were up slightly. In both cases, we made new highs on Wednesday. Then the gold stocks closed slightly lower. They dipped into the channel, but did not close in the channel. And then looking at tech stocks, they had a wild day yesterday, traded down to the lower channel line and bounced. We closed in the channel, so certainly a close below yesterday's low would give us a new sell signal on Thursday. And notice we came down to fill the gap there, and that the bottom of that or the bottom of that gap right there is acting as support at the moment. Moving on to the U.S. market, you can see how wide the bar was yesterday compared to the previous day's bar. So that's all that price volatility for the Vanguard Total Market ETF. A lot more volatility in the Dow yesterday. And then looking at the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, both trading down to the upper channel line and both bouncing off of it yesterday. So no changes there. Looking at the Russell 2000, look at how big that bar was. A lot of volatility there yesterday, and we closed up a tick over 0.25%. And then looking at small caps, again, a huge bar trading down to the lower channel line before bouncing off of it. And there's micro cap stocks also having a wild day yesterday. Again, at the end of the day, no major changes, no reason to do anything on Thursday morning. Looking at the U.S. energy sector, it traded up to the highs that we saw a couple of weeks ago. And so far, that's holding us in check. Then looking at consumer discretionary, they're still on a buy signal, no change in trend, making a new high yesterday. Compare that to consumer staples, which did make a move higher yesterday. So a close above Wednesday's high on Thursday would give us a new buy signal for consumer staples. And last up, we've got two areas of the market that I thought that would have benefited from lower interest rates immediately on Wednesday, but that was not the case. We've got a new sell signal for home builders coming into Thursday's trading action, and real estate stocks are still on a buy signal, closing down just 2 cents yesterday. But in both cases, I thought that they would end the day higher based on the fact that interest rates are falling. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. Yesterday had a lot of price volatility, but at the end of the day, no major changes to talk about. And then this morning, we are getting some buying in the pre-market this morning. So it looks like the major indices may once again make new all-time highs on Thursday. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Friday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.